everyone, I'm Danny Kingsbury, the current chair of the Snowsuit Fund Board of Directors. On behalf of the entire volunteer board and over 16,000 children in Ottawa who will be warmer this winter because of you, I'm delighted to welcome you to our 4th annual Snowsuit Fund Dinner Party in a Box, proudly presented by BMO Private Wealth. Outdoor activities are essential in maintaining good health, but for thousands of kids, it can be difficult to get outside during the cold winter months. Warm outerwear is a necessity that some of our less fortunate families are unable to provide for their children. Your purchase of a dinner party in a box makes a difference by relieving that expense from an already overburdened family budget. Imagine being in the position of having to choose buying groceries or paying utility bills over the well-being of your children. For the most of us, it seems inconceivable, yet it remains a reality for many families in Ottawa. For over 40 years, the Snowsuit Fund has helped keep underprivileged kids warm during our cold winters, and we couldn't do it without the support of folks like you. Your generosity has made a big difference in the life of a child and their family. Thank you for sharing your warmth. We don't have a long program. A few messages from our event co-chairs, Jody Harrison and Lauren Parks, and some reflections on lives we have made better. Heartwarming stories from Snowsuit Fund recipients who now have become valued supporters, including new board member Oscar Arietta and Kayla Human from Humankind, both raising money for a cause close to their hearts.
Good evening. I am Jody Harrison, event co-chair and proud to represent BMO Private Wealth, title sponsor for Dinner Party in a Box. A bit about why the Snowsuit Fund is an important cause for BMO. Our support includes senior executives like myself serving on the board, members of our team volunteering at the depot and at events, and of course, financial investment to support causes like this. Tonight's proceeds will directly support the purchase and distribution of over 750 snowsuits to kids and families who really need them. Thank you for purchasing boxes. The funds raised make a huge impact for families in need. Here are just 2 examples of how a snowsuit can make the difference in a child's life.
Hi, my name is Oscar Arietta. I'm 33 years old. I was born and raised in Mexico. My family immigrated to Canada in 2004. All of us were totally new to the country when we first came. Luckily, my dad had heard of the Snowsuit Fund the first year that we were here, and fortunately for us, we were able to get some snowsuits. That first time that we arrived at the depot here, I remember very distinctly going through that red door and then seeing all of the different colors and different sizes of snowsuits. That was a really magical experience. Of course, at the time, my parents, brand new to the country, not a lot of money to spend on anything outside of the essentials, food, shelter. So obviously, being able to get 4 snowsuits for their 4 children was a challenge, was tough. So the fact that this organization existed was really a blessing for us. I work as a warehouse automation consultant. I recently joined the board of directors for the Snowsuit Fund. I had the opportunity to meet some of the board members, and there was a fit. It seemed like for me to be able to contribute and perhaps give them a different perspective, maybe a different point of view, just being a past client and just with my background. I'm hoping to really give back a little bit of what's been given to us in the past.
My name is Kayla Human, and I was born and raised in Ottawa. I am an only child, and I currently still live in Ottawa in Stittsville. The first time I became aware of the Snowsuit Fund when I was probably about 6 or 7, and my parents were going through a divorce, and my mom was navigating being a single mom, and we needed a little bit of help. My mom's Aunt Joan actually used to volunteer here, and that is how my mom and I found out about the Snowsuit Fund. I actually do remember my first visit to the Snowsuit Fund. It actually wasn't at the current location. There used to be an old location that was down on Burnside, and we went to that location. I remember it being just like I was going to pick out a snowsuit, and I had a choice of whether I wanted pink or purple or 1-piece or 2-piece, and I was able to get my snowsuit that I wanted along with some amazing accessories. for me, it just felt like it made me feel like any other child in the neighborhood. I was so young, I really didn't know, but for my mom, I know it gave her peace of mind that her daughter was warm and was able just to enjoy the winter season. My life is busy, it's amazing. I am going into my third year of business. I own a baby and kids store in Stittsville called Humankind, and yeah, it's been amazing. It has been a dream come true, and I am enjoying every moment of it. It was important to me going into business that I was able to give back to a foundation that really helped us in a time of need. So we actually have Santa visit every year. Every year. We're going 2 years right now, so 2 years. And Santa visits, the kids come and take pictures and get to meet with him. This year, we are donating over $8,000 to the Snowsuit Fund. Amazing customers, family, and friends to make that happen. And I have about 6 bags of snowsuits today to drop off.
And now we'd like to thank the sponsors of this evening's Dinner Party in a Box. Thank you, Trek City, for sponsoring box delivery. Thank you to the Ottawa businesses who donated or discounted items for our Mediterranean-themed box. Dunrobin Distilleries, Mark Anthony Wines and Spirits, Kitchissippi Beer Company, Poco Loco, Spice Girls, The Unrefined Olive, Tea's Tea, Bulgari Perfume, and the Jackie Kroner Agency, and OBJ.
Hi, I'm Lauren Parks, co-chair of this event with Jody. I'd like to give special thanks to Stephen Bechta and his Curated by Bechta culinary team for preparing this gourmet meal. He and his team have supported this event for the last 4 years. Thanks to Oscar and Kayla for sharing their stories of how the Snowsuit Fund has positively impacted their lives. Thanks to Dawn Masters, Gemma Van Bremen, and the Media Plus team for the gorgeous graphics and this video. Tonight you're going to enjoy a deliciously curated meal for 2 prepared by Bechta. And at the end of this short video, Stephen Bechta himself will tell you exactly how you can finish and plate your gorgeous meal in just 20 minutes. Sip a Kitchissippi beer. Paul Meek and Mike Hall from Kitchissippi not only donated the beer you will enjoy this evening, but if you ordered a kids meal, you're lucky to get one of their craft sodas. An extra shout out to these guys. Every year they've helped us with transportation and getting all these boxes from the Snowsuit Fund Depot to your door. On behalf of the entire board of directors, Jody and myself, I'd like to thank our planning team and the Snowsuit Fund Depot staff. And to all of you who purchased boxes and joined us tonight, thank you for being with us and for helping us keep kids in Ottawa warm.
Hi everyone. Welcome to the Snowsuits Fund's Dinner Party in a Box for 2023. Thanks so much for ordering one of these magnificent kits, and thanks for your amazing support of this very important charity. So every package tonight pays for 2 snowsuits for kids in need in our city. And we're just so grateful for you and your support and for making this important in your lives, because they're going to have a better life because of it. We've got a terrific meal for you tonight, and I can't wait to get started and to show you how to make it. My name's Steve Bechta, and I'm the owner-operator of Bechta Play Gezellig Restaurants and Curated by Bechta that does these special occasion meal kits. And I'm so excited to be able to film this for you tonight, and I really hope you have a beautiful dinner. Okay, so first thing, go ahead and preheat your oven to 450 degrees, or if you're like me and have a convection oven, 425. Always take 25 degrees off. So I'm going to do the appetizer and main course together, so to save time and so you don't have to watch the video all night long. But I'd really encourage you to do appetizer, have a little break, main course, have a little break, enjoy dessert. So first thing I'm going to do is take the zucchini and our cauliflower, and we're going to mix it with some olive oil. Generous amount because there's lots of veg there, probably too much. This is why we do, part of the reason why we do videos in advance is that I can work with the chef and we can choose to adjust the seasoning or adjust the size of certain things. So you want to get 2 baking sheets. If you do the appetizer, then the main course, you can use 1. It's got parchment paper on it so that things don't stick. And so I'm going to lay out the cauliflower and zucchini on 1. And ironically, it takes basically the same amount of time for both sets of veg. So I'm going to pop this in. Hey Google, set a timer for 15 minutes. Now for the appetizer, again, olive oil, salt and pepper on the broccoli. Give it a good mix and try to put it flat side down. And you're going to go on the same baking sheet as the halloumi. Halloumi cheese, for those of you who are not familiar, is a beautiful cheese from Cyprus, and it's a very squeaky cheese. And it's done in a brine, and it makes it so that you can bake the cheese and it doesn't get all runny like mozzarella would in the oven. All right. Just like that, 15 minutes in. But on this one, I need to turn it over after 10. Hey Google, set a timer for 10 minutes.
Second timer for 10 minutes.
Perfect. Great. And so, because after 10 minutes, you're going to move the broccoli around and you're going to flip the halloumi over so that you get nice brown on both sides. Very important. I'm going to have a little taste of wine. This is not the wine that you're getting, but I'm just pouring myself a glass because I always love having a glass of wine while I'm cooking. And cheers to you. Again, thanks for the incredible support. Okay, so next up is our flank steak. So it's already been seasoned and it's already been cooked to rare in our beautiful immersion circulator, so done sous vide, and that makes it really tender for flank steak. Flank has a lot of flavor to it, but it's a little more toothsome, as they say. So you want to season both sides. When you take it out of the bag that it was used to be cooked in, sous vide, you want to pat it dry with some paper towel. So salt and pepper both sides. All right. And then we want to get our pan nice and hot. In the pan, you want to use some neutral oil. So in my case, grapeseed oil, but you can use canola oil, you can use vegetable oil. And I also want to put our cauliflower puree in a small pot with a spatula, and you can just give it a stir every once in a while, and you're going to warm that up gradually over the time. I'm going to cut this now and come back when the timing is perfect for us to get launched into it. Okay, so I've turned my cast iron pan on to high heat. Any heavy bottom pan will work, but cast iron, if you don't have one of these in your pantry, you should really get one. They're cheap and they are fabulous, and I use it every day for cooking. Make sure to turn your hood fan on because it's going to smoke a little bit. So you've got the canola or grapeseed oil in there, or vegetable oil, so that it can get a really nice high heat and sear on it. A little hack on making sure that the oil is hot enough to sear is just take a little water on your fingertips, and when it really starts to pop, then you know that the pan is hot enough for you to sear your steak. I want to make sure I get the tongs out, and I don't want to knock the banner over. There we go. It's starting to bubble. Yeah, so the steak, so important, not only for tonight, but for any time you cook steak or for most meats. Make sure you rest it for 5 minutes at least, but the rule of thumb is half the time it took to cook. Make sure you have some unsalted butter ready because you're going to be basting and you want a nice basting spoon. I got one right here. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's sear these puppies up. Perfect. So let's see what the chef says. About 90 seconds per side. You just want a nice crust. Again, it's already cooked to rare. And so you want a nice crust on it. And then we're going to butter bathe it to give it some luxuriousness. If you got a cast iron pan like me, make sure you've got a towel so you don't burn yourself, and get the butter ready. Yeah, the resting is just so key when it comes to making a great steak. Because what happens is that the juices flow back to the center of the steak when it's resting, and so then when you slice it, all the juices don't run away and make the steak very tough. So this is key, and that's why sometimes a steak at a restaurant comes out a little less hot than if it's right off the barbecue, but it's so much tastier, and that's really important. Okay, let's see how our crust is doing. That's looking good. Not throwing off too much smoke, so that's great. We're not going to set off the fire alarm, which I have done in these videos before. Never fun. Never fun. Now for dessert, make sure you bring it up to room temperature. I can probably even plate the dessert very quickly now. Got a couple different garnishes. What we're going to do, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. We have this beautiful baklava. First I put the banner right where my drawer is for implements. This is a gorgeous baklava, and it's made with local honey from G's Bees that we use a lot. And we've got these beautiful pistachios, and so make sure, if there's some in the box, toss it around. You can get rid of that. See how our steak's doing? Nice. I'm going to sear the other side for just a little bit longer. I can get rid of this little extra pastry. Undo my ramekins. We've got some fresh mint, and then we have some rose petal jam that we make in-house, which is really nice. I'll spoon out for that. Looking good. Okay, so I'm going to turn the heat down to low, put the butter in, let it melt down. Got a little piece of the butter package there. We don't need that in the steak. You can move it around. And you see the butter turns brown, and that's why they call it brown butter. And it gets a really nice nutty quality to it. And just tilt the pan down, and you want to spoon the butter over the steak. And this is what gives it that glorious restaurant quality luxuriousness. 20 to 30 seconds per side. Hey Google, off. So I'm just going to finish this real quick, and then we're going to start resting the steak, and then I'll turn the broccoli, which is perfect because I put it in probably a minute late. And don't forget to turn the halloumi as well. Yeah, this is looking really good. I'm going to show you a little hack that the chef didn't put in the instructions. By the way, I do my resting on a baking sheet. So keep the pan that's warm and it's got the butter in there, and you can drench it through that warm butter just before you're about to slice it. Okay, we can turn the hood fan off now. Whoops, not the light. All right. I don't know why the chef said to turn the broccoli over but not the cauliflower, but anyway, I'm going with them. You know what? I'll take a look at it and see if it needs to be turned over. Again, this is why we do the video, so we can update the cooking instructions. And then the halloumi, make sure you give that a turn. And the whole thing back in. Why not? Let's give the cauliflower and zucchini the same love as the broccoli. By giving it a little spin. I don't know why I'm more worried about the zucchini than the cauliflower, but There we go. Back in the oven. Give the cauliflower a little stir. And let's bring our desserts over and finish them plating. So we're going to spoon rose petal jam along the side. I'm going to do this little chef's swoosh. Spread it out. Use the back of the spoon. This is going to provide some beautiful acidity to the very sweet honeyed baklava. And we've got this fresh mint. Maybe I'll do one big leaf there, and then rip up the rest that can be eaten with the baklava. This is quite a Persian dessert. We have a taste of Mediterranean tonight, but a lot of Persian flavors in here. The chef really connects with them. Let's see if I can slide that underneath. Nice and pretty. Lovely. So there is our homemade baklava with the GSB's honey, the roasted pistachios, and the rose petal jam and fresh mint. Okay. I'm just going to double check that the camera's still rolling. Sure enough, it is. Fantastic. I had to grab my AirPod before it fell out, and I was worried that I accidentally turned it off. All right, so we're getting ready for plating the main course. We have this beautiful muamara, which is a roasted red pepper spread, and I'm going to need another big spoon. Hey Google, off. Okay, so all of the veg in the oven are good, so I'm going to turn the oven off. If your muamara is separated a little bit, sometimes the oil separates, just give it a good stir. And in terms of the instructions, begin by plating the muamara. So you can just put it in a circle on the plate and spread it out with the back of your spoon. This is such a beautiful ingredient. Chefs really turned me on over the last couple of years to so many things that you will actually have on your plate tonight that I didn't know before. Muamara, chermoula, the sauce with all the fresh herbs, and za'atar spice as well, which has some sumac in it, which is very popular in the Middle East, but also very available in Canada. You see it all along the parkways in Ottawa. Okay, muamara looking good. Messed up the plate a little bit. All right, so I'm going to plate the appetizer first. So broccoli is going down. For those of you who have been great Curated by Becta regulars, you'll know that I usually cook for my family. But our son now is at a school in England doing his undergrad in political science. And my wife is actually working tonight, so she's at Chateau Montebello doing a facilitation retreat for her clients. So I've got my buddy, Jeff, who has come in from California just for my birthday. My 50th birthday is this Saturday. So super excited. Yeah, welcome, Jeff. So we got a little spoon. The last thing we have is the pickled pomegranate. You don't need to season this stuff because the halloumi is naturally very salty. Yeah, the pickled pomegranate all around. It really pops. A little paper towel to clean up the edges. Spread that out so it doesn't look like a face that some kid did. And then there is your baked halloumi with the muamara, the pickled pomegranate, and the roasted broccoli. Let's get ready for our main courses. All right, let's see. Towel. Smelling delicious. Okay, first things first, we have our cauliflower puree. Divided up amongst the two. My induction oven beeping at me. And you can just drag that through. You spread it out on the plate. Nice linear fashion. Make sure that it's top and bottom so that you can see it when you plate all the other stuff on top. Okay, next we have our veggies. So the roasted cauliflower and the zucchini. Make sure to spread around so you can see everything. Probably too many veggies, but hey, we're big guys. We might scale back a little bit because I don't think we're going to finish all of this. There's a lot of food here. I miss doing these meal kit videos. For all of you curated regulars, I miss you guys. Please send me a note. We love hearing from you. Okay, that's lots. Put that away. Then we got the steaks, and just like I mentioned before, just drop it through the butter. Warms it up and gives it a little extra sexiness. Flank steak is super easy to identify where the grains are. They literally are big lines, and you want to cut against the grain, and you want to do this before you season it. And again, if I did my resting properly, then there should not be juices everywhere. Okay, and what you can do is flip the outside off and fan it out. There we go. Little fan. Now, we've got the za'atar spice. Feel free to use as much or as little as you like. I'm a big fan of the za'atar and the sumac. It gives it a great Middle Eastern flavor to it, Mediterranean, if you will. And of course, hit it with a little bit of coarse salt at the end as well. Roll that right over. That's one good looking dish. And then finally, we've got the chermoula. Give it a little stir. And this is the stuff that you want to drag the steak through when you're eating. Perfect. All right, folks. There's our lovely za'atar spiced, sous vide, marinated flank steak done with the roasted zucchini, cauliflower puree, roasted cauliflower, and chermoula. I hope you love your meal. Thanks so much for the support. Thanks so much for ordering. And thanks for supporting the Snowsuit Fund. Such an important organization in our community. And hopefully there is no kid without a snowsuit this winter time.